ICT class, part 4 on computer networks. Today's section will be network and data security. ICT, IGCSE ICT. So today we'll be looking at the network security and data security, the physical layer security, what we need to secure our network or to secure our data by creating password, username, password, encryption, decryption, the things we need to do to protect our system or to secure our data. So all of this are very necessary for our network, super necessary for our network. Is that okay? Okay, so let's begin properly. Okay, without much ado, let's begin properly. Okay, hello. Now we're into our network and data security. You know, normally our computers, we connect them to the net. We connect our computers to the net, right? Normally, connect them to the net in order to have access to the internet. So once we do this, you have to start thinking about security, how to secure your system, your network, and your computer, your data, everything. You have to start thinking how to secure it because you're now vulnerable. You become very vulnerable. Your files are vulnerable, your information are vulnerable, your data are vulnerable, your network is vulnerable. Vulnerability is like you are exposed, your exposition to the rest of the world because you'll be connected to the internet. So, you know, we talk about firewall. You have to build a firewall to protect you from the net, the hullabaloo in the net space. So we have to find a way to design a network that where only the people that are supposed to get access to your network will actually have access to your network. The people who are not supposed to gain access to your network will be blocked or will not be allowed to have access to your network. So you should build a network that allow only the people that have access to gain the physical access to the network, to the physical access of your network. To have access, gain access to the access point of your network. And these are created by the IT specialist or the network administrator by creating usernames and passwords for people who are supposed to access the network. Other than that, then you're blocked. You're not allowed to gain access to the network. So if your computer is connected to a network, other people can connect to your computer as well. Other people that have access to the network can also see your computer. A person who gains unauthorized access to a computer network is called a hacker. Anybody who gained an unauthorized, meaning he's not authorized, but he was able to access the network, is called a hacker. So anyone who can have access to your entire network without you giving the username and password, but they find a way to get into your network, those people are called the hackers. So we should bear in mind. Now, how do you prevent the unauthorized access to your network? How do you do that? Okay, you have to do by creating strong passwords. Passwords that are very difficult for people to easily remember. Passwords that are very difficult for people to easily play with. People usually play with people's birthday. That's why when you're displaying your birthday on your social media pages like Instagram, your Facebook pages, your TikTok account, your X account, when you're displaying your birthday, all of these things, you are making it easy for hackers to easily break into your network. Because most people, they use their birthday date as their password. If they cannot use your birthday date, they try your name, your father's name, your mother's name. They try all these things, birthday of the people around you. They keep trying. When they do 1,000 try, one will fall into place. If 100 try is too much, okay, and then one will fall into place. So you have to design a password that is difficult for anybody to have access to. So to create such password, to make a password strong, you have to use capital letters, uppercase, lowercase, numbers, symbols like @ or exclamation mark, question mark. You have to add so many different things in order to make the password strong. There are a number of security measures that we normally take that can prevent hackers from accessing your computer or the data that are stored in your computer. Now let's take a look at the things you need to do. Number one is physical security. You have to create a physical security for your computers and your data. Okay, the first thing to make sure of is that no unauthorized person can gain physical access to your system or to your network. Okay, so anyone who comes to your computer physically will not be able to access it by creating a password for your computer. Your computer, to enter your computer alone, you can put a password so that people cannot just take your laptop and go into it. If you don't create a password for your laptop, anyone, or your desktop computer, anyone who comes to your workstation can begin to use your computer. If you are not there, can begin to use it. So, and most of the time, your personal computer, you already saved the password in the computer. Of many things that you open, you save the password. When you create anything or you open anything, it asks you, do you want to save the password? Because we don't want to forget, we always save the password on the computer, right? Or on the browser. So the people just go to the browser, your everything, even your email, everything will open in your computer. So when people gain physical access to your computer, they can read your email directly. Because your email, they are already in the browsers. You create a browser, you already save them. So the moment the person clicks the browser, your email will pop up straight away. And then they have access to all your email catalog, all your discussions, all your everything and anything. Okay, even some people save things in their email or in their Google Drive. So they have access to your email, your drive. They can quickly scan through your files, your folders in your drive, in your Google Drive, and know exactly who you are, what you are, and begin to be able to even hack you from a different location. Okay, so you must create a physical security. So your computers or your workstations, you must create a password for them. So such a way that even if you're not there on your workstation, no one can just come and start using your computer without your permission. Okay, so the physical security is super important. It's just like locking your door. Just like locking your door to your house. So creating a password to log into a computer is similar to locking the door to the house. So if you don't lock the door to your house, anyone can just walk into your house, right? So this is, or your condo, your condominium, there's no security people at the gate, anyone can come in, it's open to everyone. So no one will be safe. So this is has a similitude to exactly what we're saying. So you have to create a username and a password. So if someone does not know the username and password, you will not be able to even access your computer physically. Okay, that's for physical security. Number 2 is use of a username and a good password. A use of a good username and a password. Most common way to protect your computer's data is to set up the user account with the usernames and password. You have to set a username and password for your computer. Once you do that, then you've denied a lot of people access to your computer. Your guests, unauthorized guests, cannot have access to your computer. But this username and password that we're talking about, your password must be strong. So people just use 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. 1 2 3 4 5. So this is not password. You're playing. Okay, this is no password. When you choose a password like 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 1 2 3, it's easy for anybody to guess it. So guessing is the word. People guess to break password. You see, easy for people to guess. They just guess any combination of things like your birthday, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they have a gateway. They have access to your computer. So you should make password, strong password like you see. If you want to make this password, S63, small letter G, capital letter R, D, small letter DD, and then 1. Nobody will able to guess this one for no significant for no significant reason. Nobody will be able to guess this. Or you see capital G, 66, EW, dollar sign, small DQ. This one, even you that created it, if you're not careful, if you don't find a place to write it down, even you that created it after 1 week probably, except you're opening every day. If it's not somewhere or something you open every day, even you that created it, you're going to forget it. Let alone the person who didn't create it. So these are difficult. These are not jokes. These are difficult passwords. They are called strong password. They are called strong password. Weak password are like you're just writing your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or you write your name as password. You write David, you write Abdamid as password. These are easy to guess. So when you use this type of password, it's easy for people to have access to your network or to your computer. Now let's go to the third way. Is to use firewalls, okay, for your network. This one is to protect the entire network. Installing firewalls on your network. So always install and use a firewall. This is the third way. Number 1 was physical security. Okay, keep your computer in a nice place so that unauthorized people cannot have access to it. Okay, make sure unauthorized people do not have access to your computer. Okay, and always lock your computer. The second one is the username and password. Create a username and password for your network or for your laptop, for your computers. The third one is installing a firewall. Firewall prevents people from on the net to throw Trojan or any negative malicious software at you. So we have different types of malicious software. Virus is a malicious software people use to collect your data. They send you virus to corrupt your system, and then they can from that way hack and access your data. So virus is a type of malicious software. Trojan is a malicious software. There's so many spyware. There are so many malicious software people through. So you have to build a firewall to prevent any malicious software. Malicious software is called malware. In abbreviation, it's called malware. Okay, malware. M-A-L is from malicious. Then the ware is from software. W-A-R-E is from software. We call it malware. Okay, so malware exposes you to a lot of different software that can corrupt your system or that can steal your data. So to prevent this, you have to build a firewall. A firewall is a device, could be a device, or is a piece of software. So it could be a hardware or a software. It could be a hardware like a hardware device, or a software to prevent hackers from accessing your data. I think Adobe Reader, Google, Microsoft something has some firewalls. They ask you to install. You pay monthly or you pay yearly or something. So you can install your system to prevent all this type of attempts on your system. So we say a firewall, it's a device or a piece of software that is placed between your computers or your local area network and the rest of the networks, your WAN. So it's placed from your network, from your LAN to your WAN, to the wide area network, to prevent hackers or any malicious software from attempting to steal data away from you. Okay? So now securing data, we go to another subheading. How do you secure data? So we measured 3 ways of preventing unauthorized access to your system, to your computer or to your network. 1 is physical security. Create a physical security, like locking your door. Number 2, use username and password. Number 3 is to install a firewall. So 3 ways of preventing unauthorized access to your network is physical security, creating physical security. Number 2, username and password, creating username and password. Number 3, installing a firewall. Now let's go to securing your data. How do you secure data? You know your data so that people cannot steal your data. One of the ways of securing data is what we call, number 1 is data encryption. You have to encrypt your data, make it unintelligible. Make the data unintelligible. Change it from words to signs and symbols that people cannot interpret. Okay? Change it to cipher it. You have to cipher it. Encrypt it by ciphering it so that people cannot have access to it. So securing your data, one way is data encryption. So data has to be private or confidential. Like, for example, we have your medical records. It has to be confidential. No one should know about your medical record or medical history. Okay? When people know about your medical record or your medical history, they can blackmail you. They can start blackmailing you. They can say, if you don't give me this, I'll expose your health status to people that are not supposed to know about it. So they are supposed to be private. Your health issues are supposed to be private. You don't have to share with everyone, except when it's necessary. Like in the case of admission to school, you have to declare your state of health so that they know. Only those, or you're getting a job, you have to declare. Okay? But any authorized person, any person on the street is not supposed to know about your health status. Your health data are not your only data. Your bank, your financial data, people are not supposed to know about it. They're supposed to be private and confidential. Your salary is supposed to be confidential. When you get a job, they will write on your contract that salaries are confidential. You don't have to tell another person how much you earn. So these are all private informations, okay, that are supposed to be kept by only you. Not only your financial status, your banking statements, your health statements from hospitals. All of these are private data, confidential data. And this data, they need to be protected from being viewed by any authorized person. Anybody that is not supposed to have access to your personally identifiable information. Anyone that is not supposed to have access to your personally identifiable information is not supposed to gain access or supposed to have authority to access your personal data. Because they are sensitive personal information. They are sensitive personal identifiable information. Since they are sensitive, you're not supposed to let people know. Okay? This is especially true if the data is to be sent via a public network, such as the internet. You know, internet is a public network. So you should be careful how you send all this type of personally identifiable information through a public network. Because when you do this and there is no firewall to protect or prevent unauthorized access by other people, then you may be liable or vulnerable. The vulnerability issue is a big issue because attackers are everywhere. You know, the world is about 8 billion people right now. And everyone is struggling for the resources to survive. The bourgeois, they take all the resources, about 2,000 to 3,000 people in the world only have all the billions. The rest of the people are struggling. Let's say, okay, put together billionaires and millionaires, let's say 100,000 people. Let's say only 100,000 people, the billionaires and the millionaires in this dunya, in this world. The remaining people, they are struggling. Every other human being is struggling. Out of 8 billion, only 100,000 people maybe are rich. The remaining people are struggling for survival. So why you should be careful with your information? Whatever you let loose, other people will just hack it and use it for their own benefits. So you must be careful. You must be careful. Hackers have even one time hacked our university. So you have to be careful. You have to be careful how you let your data to be in public space, and will be having other people will have access to this information. Okay, so you must be very, very careful. Now we are saying that in a public network such as internet, whatever you put out there is Okay? So now let's quickly look at the way, what to do or to secure your data. We say data encryption, number one. Data encryption. Encryption is the process of converting information into a form that is meaningless to anyone and everyone who have gained access to it. Okay? Except only the holder of the key. We create a key to decrypt it. Only the holder of the key will be able to generate the original information. We make the information unintelligible. The process of converting the information into a meaningless form, into an unintelligible form, such that every other person that gain access to the information will not understand it except the person with the key. The person with the key will be able to generate the original message. Okay, we'll be able to generate the original message. Okay, let's take a look at this example. We say, for example, if Alice wants to send personal messages to Bob, she must go through the following step. First, Alice needs to generate a secret key. Now, the key is usually a very long random number. Now, Alice must give a copy of this key to Bob. This Alice will give a copy of the key to Bob. If Bob does not have this key, he will not be able to open the message. The message has been encrypted. Only the person who has the key will be able to read the message. Okay? So you have to encrypt a message. When you encrypt a message, then no one can access the message without the key. She must give a copy of the key to Bob. And she must make sure that nobody else can get the key. Because anyone who gets a key will be able to decrypt the message. Will be able to decrypt the message. No, you make the word, encryption is making the word unintelligible. Make it in a way like symbol, something people cannot read. Something people can no longer read. Okay? Like for example, if you see this, to Bob, this is a secret message from Alice. Okay? The message you cannot read unless you decrypt it. You need the encryption software or key to decrypt the message so that you cannot read the message. Is that okay? Now that Bob has a copy of the key, each time Alice needs to send him a message, she starts by encrypting it using a special encryption software and the secret key. So Alice wants to send a message, he has to use a special encryption software and a secret key. Bob already has the key. So Bob also has the software. So when Bob gets the message from the software, Bob will be able to read the message. Alice then sends the encrypted message to Bob. This is the encrypted message now. So Alice will first of all put her message through encryption software. Right? The software will bring the message like this, unintelligible. Can you read this now? No. You cannot read. This is an encrypted message. No one can read it except the person has the key. So Alice will send the message to Bob. Alice will now send this unintelligible message to Bob, or encrypted message to Bob. So Bob has the key. Bob will now put the message to the decryption software and key the key. He will put the message on the decryption software and put the key. The key is like the password. And then the message will come out the way it was said to Bob. This is a secret message from Alice. You know, the message will now, this message that was unintelligible can now be readable. You decrypt the message, for example. It's just for instance, I'm giving you an instance. Okay? So Bob just needs the decryption software and the key from Alice. Alice needs the encryption software and the key. It's the same key that Alice will send to Bob. Bob already has the key. Once he puts the message on Bob puts the message on the decryption software and type in the key, the message will come out intelligible. Okay, so this is with this, we come to this end of this section. We will go to the next section, which is data type and organization. So you need to protect messages that you send over the public space. And the public network are called the internet. The private network are called intranet. The private ones are called the intranet. The public network are called internet. So in sending message through the internet, we need to what? Encrypt the data, encrypt the message. So that only the person that has the encryption key will be able to decrypt the message and understand the message. Every other person, the message that hack into it, we see the message very unintelligible or unreadable. So they may not be able to hack your message or use your message even if they hack into it. So that's why we need an encryption key. That's why we need an encryption key. So with this, we come to the end of this section. Thank you.